This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace. Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we are your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
And this week, Grace is going to blow our minds with another episode of our new show. Not new anymore, actually. We're halfway through it now. Yes, this week. Inspector Gadget.
Okay, also, actually, before I launch in, let's revisit our theme song discussion about this.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
From a couple weeks ago. And here's something I did realize about, we were comparing this to Darkwing Duck. You had the really bold statement of saying this was better than Darkwing Duck, which had been our number one, I think. And what I realized...
I'm back and forth on that, by the way, but yes, in that moment.
I said, yes. So I still think for me, Darkwing Duck is my number one, but I did realize that this one has like a better bridge of like, go, Gadget, go.
Gadget, go.
And it gets stuck in my head more. Like Darkwing Duck, like I can hear it and like, oh yeah, I'm jamming. I love it. And then I like, kind of move on and occasionally say, let's get dangerous. But this one I find like I'm doing dishes and all of a sudden I'm like, Inspector Gadget, like it's catchier.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if that makes things better or worse, but
no, but it is another factor. It's another factor. And you're right. Maybe it's not better than the Darkwing Duck intro song, but for some reason it does just like, it sticks with you in a different way. Like something about it's like easier to whistle. It's easier to like hum along to. Like Darkwing Duck is like a full actually song where there's like verses, a chorus, a bridge, etc., an outro, and then Inspector Gadget is just like this catchy phrase more like over and over. Yes, that
which like it's stuck in there. So anyways, I forgot to bring that up last week.
Good point. I'm glad you did. That helps us in our ranking of all of the cartoon songs. So good. Yeah, that's helpful.
So there you go. And also, I did go back and forth and listen to the theme songs to come up with, like I said,
that makes me want to do that now. And I hate to do this 2 episodes in a row, but where do we put Jabberjaw in this?
I need to go back and listen. I think I need to
talk about a jingle. Actually, Jabberjaw, in comparison to Darkwing Duck and Inspector Gadget, Jabberjaw is like nails on a fucking chalkboard.
Honestly, I think I need to go back and listen to it because it's like I vaguely remember it, but not well enough. But from all of the ones last year, I guess besides Tailspin, what mainly was it last year that we also did the whisper scatting of
Charlie Chan.
Of the Chans, because that one to me is definitely better than Jabberjaw because it's whisper scatting.
The whisper scatting, it's insane. Like how does one whisper scat? Who knew? You know,
who knew it was a vocal range you could achieve. Yes.
So to sum it up, Jabberjaw was basically just jabber, 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 jabber,
oh my God,
jaw.
Nails on a chalkboard. Yeah, absolutely. Now, jabber, 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 jabber. Yeah, no.
It's so bad. And they were in a band.
But some of the songs in it were good from the band.
Bob. And remember, that was our biggest gripe. We were like, how is this show about people in a band? How does this one have the worst of all of the theme songs?
But then the songs were so good in the show.
Yeah,
we got to make this bracket. I think we got to go through all.
And now that I think about it,
someone do this
Rescue Rangers actually might be my favorite too, because it's just like so intense. Okay, Stay tuned for a bracket, y'all. I actually might do this, especially with with March Madness coming up. That would be a fun thing for us to do in March. Like instead of, that's our March Madness. That's our bracket tournament.
I mean, this episode might be coming out already in March. We record in advance. So this could already be March.
This one might be the first week of March. Yeah, because this is, I think it might be. Or the last week of February. Either way. So good time for us to announce. Dory, I'll work on this. I know you guys, you've got a lot of stuff going on now, Grace, but I'm like, I have time to make a bracket of cartoon theme songs. I'll text you after this. We'll figure something out because I'm actually invested in this right now.
Perfect.
For what it's
Beautiful.
worth.
Maybe this will be
Anyways,
our we'll have like little bonus episodes of us talking about it.
yeah, we'll try to fit it in. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm gonna take some PTO days here soon so we can use them to record these. I hope my boss isn't
Beautiful.
listening. Anyways,
Wow.
now on
Great.
that note, let's quickly change the subject into something more serious. Inspector Gadget.
Yes, more serious, indubitably. So today I will be doing season 2, episode 5 of Inspector Gadget, entitled "M.A.D in the Moon." But before I start this episode, I have something to confess first to you, because I could not lie to you about this. Is how I find my episodes. I usually just like go to Wikipedia and say like episode lists, and I like jump around like reading the description, which is usually like a line of like Gadget goes to the circus or something like that. Or
and that's literally the name of the episode too.
Yeah.
Gadget
or base it solely off of the title. And so this one, I think I had seen like the description of like the moon. Obviously, we're going to talk about the moon here. And so I was like, okay, great. But I accidentally wrote down the wrong title. And as I was going through this episode, I was so confused about the title I'd wrote down. Because I was like, what the fuck does this have to do with like the moon and space? I'll just give that away. We're talking about the moon and space today. Cool. And it's because the episode I wrote down was actually episode 6, like the title, which is NSF Gadget. Like NSFW, not safe for work. I know, that's what I was
thinking. I was like, wait, what?
And so my entire episode, I was like, why the fuck is it called NSFW or like NSF?
Yeah, Gadget, yeah.
Yeah, Gadget. And it got me thinking, because then after I realized my like mix up, I was like, okay, I didn't watch the episode that was actually NSF Gadget, but like, let me look what this episode is. Like, why is it called that? And the like, there's like wiki fandom pages. And the wiki fandom for that episode that I did not do said it was a play on NSFW. But Alexis, this episode came out in 1985.
Thank you.
So I said to myself,
were we saying that back then?
Yeah, when did we first start saying that? Not safe for work, NSFW. And you know what? I'm here to postulate today.
Please do.
Inspector Gadget coined this term because, according to a Vice article, that's right, I also read something besides Wikipedia for this episode today. Thank you. Thank you.
I will also give you your award. This is like the award for like humanities prize. Or anthropology or something.
Yes. So basically Vice found or thinks it's widely believed that the usage of this acronym only goes back to 1998, where on a Snopes.com throwback forum, someone used it saying like, hey, please mark your, things that you're posting with NSFW because kids like use this site too. So like, please mark it with that. And it's coined as like one of the earliest internet terms, which would have been like 13 years after this episode came out. So
yeah, maybe that person was a child watching Inspector Gadget and they thought NSF Gadget, not safe for Gadget. What if, and then he became an adult 13 years later and he was posting something in a forum on Snopes.com and said, there was a phrase I remember from my childhood. NSF Gadget. Hey, mark these pictures as NSFW. Boom. We just said it. That's history right here on Saturday Morning Mysteries.
Where's our historical prize?
Yeah, we're winning all the Nobel Peace Prizes this year. This is great.
We're going to sweep this year.
The economy and such, humanities and such, linguistics and things, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and there's probably more to come. So
yeah, just wait. We're just getting started. It's still only either the end of February or early March, depending on when this episode comes out. So time can only tell.
Yeah, who knows what this year's going to bring for us.
But also great discovery, by the way. What a mix up to have and then to actually learn and or wildly speculate history out of.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I was like very proud of myself for deep diving into that and learning this fun fact. And shout out to I think it was a woman who posted on Snopes.com in 1998 and one of the first internet terms. Incredible.
Just like that. Crazy.
Yeah. So yes, if you think this is an insane way to start my episode recap,
You're right.
May I remind you, this is called Mad in the Moon, so we will go to the moon this episode.
Also true. So, yes. Yeah.
And that's actually where we start today's episode already, is out on the moon. Yep.
Okay.
We see a like moon rover type of thing just like plodding along, and it opens one of its doors and like a slide comes out of the door. We do see a big old MAD logo on it. So, we know these are MAD agents. And from the rover out come, and they're in spacesuits and stuff, a set of twins whose names are Null and Void. Which is very funny.
Those don't rhyme.
Hey,
twin names
Alexis,
are supposed
the birds
to rhyme.
know.
Yeah, we're
It's
experts in twins. Yeah.
Ask her dad, her uncles, her other uncles,
aunts, cousins, etc. Lots of twins in this family. Well, you are now an expert on twins too, in a way. But yeah,
instead of
they don't
rhyme, alliteration is what our family does.
Yes, that's fair. Yes. This is not alliteration. This is
Null and Void. Also, it is funny, but
yeah, and I feel like I was going to say, imagine being named Null, but I think Void would also be as offensive. I was like, one of those is less than the other, but no, those are both like
at least
null.
Like Void is like spacey, and Null is like we needed something to go with Void.
Exactly. Void is definitely the favorite.
Yeah, for sure. Like you will go to space one day, children. I guess the other one will come too. So yes, Null and Void get out of the rover, the MAD rover. They are MAD agents, and they're both pretty short. They've got like very round heads within their very round space helmets, big thick mustaches, kind of like I think round black glasses, and on top of their helmets, they're both wearing like bowler hats. So they almost look like, I don't know, like Victorian and or industrial age, like businessmen, like they would be accountants.
Bowler hats are like they've got the rim going around, but they're like more rounded, right?
Yes.
Not a fedora, but
correct.
Wow.
Yes, there's a lot of round
their spacesuits.
Yes.
You say?
Yes, on top.
Interesting.
Fashion.
Gravity is having that high fashion on the moon that gravity has no control over.
Nope, I think they've
staying in place and everything. Cool. Okay. Yes. Cool.
So these twins, who yes are identical, they're holding this like, do you know what like Raggedy Ann is? Like the doll?
Yeah.
They're basically holding a Raggedy Ann doll, but like, I don't know, an orange dress. And they've brought a bunch of them actually to the moon, but not because they're just dolls. I think that they're in this, Raggedy Ann's kind of creepy, this creepy doll form, because they needed to smuggle some things to the moon. And this was how to get it through customs. Because within each doll are bombs.
Is it really?
Yeah. There are a bunch of bombs.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, I see a question.
First of all, just like your speculation of trying to get it through customs. Can you imagine if like NASA had customs, like before you take off from Cape Canaveral, you have to like go through TSA.
But it's also so bad, even though it's fucking NASA or like any international space agency, that they can't catch bombs. Like they can send you to the moon, but they can't figure out that like you have 80 dolls and they're all bombs.
They will definitely take your 3.5 ounce or whatever lotion bottle or liquid bottle.
Can't take
goddamn those Raggedy Ann dolls. What a good
They just really need their comfort dolls. You know, we all got them.
And of all things to put bombs in. All right, I'm seated. I'm excited to see where this goes.
You're strapped in like you're in a spaceship over top.
Exactly.
Ready to launch.
Exactly.
So these bombs they've brought here, these doll bombs.
I was gonna start singing freaking Elton John, Rocket Man. I was like, I'm gonna stop before we're gonna get so derailed. Yeah. And I think it's gonna be a long time. Wow. Like
slow this entire episode.
Yeah.
She's just Rocket Manning it.
Sorry. Yeah.
Wow. Also, as a fun fact, everyone, there was a point in high school in which Alexis and I and homeroom had to be separated because we wouldn't stop singing Benny and the Jets to each other.
Yeah.
Including across the hall. And
across the
everyone was
hall.
mad at us.
Yeah. Oh, they separated us. We kept singing it. It's like, well, now we have to sing it louder.
Louder.
Teacher.
You
Is this what you
idiots.
wanted? I feel like that didn't
Right.
last long. They're like, fine, just sit by each other, damn it.
Just keep it quieter if you're next to each
One
other.
last joke about Benny and the Jets. Now that you mentioned it, a friend of mine in law school, we were talking about Elton John one time, and she's like, "What is your favorite Elton John song?" And I was like, "Oh, obviously Benny and the Jets." And she's like,
Yeah.
"Really?" And I was like, "Oh, wait, damn it, she doesn't get it."
Like she wasn't there with us in high school.
She wasn't there in high school.
Oh wait,
like,
she doesn't have taste.
Rocket Man. Exactly. No, I did stand my ground. I was like, no, it's Benny and the Jets. No question. Next question.
Yes. Yeah, next, please.
Anyways.
Oh, yes. And so today
To derail. This is why I didn't want to bring it up.
Right, you knew that I wouldn't let it go if you brought it up.
Okay. We're back.
Yes. So these bombs that Nolan Boy have, these doll bombs, are up there because it is a very special day. Today is, in fact, Dr. Claw's birthday.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, good for you turning into the older Claw.
Exactly. Another year wiser.
Yes. And as a present to him, Null and Void are going to set up these explosive dolls across the surface of the moon, not to explode the moon like a lot of classic villains try to do.
Okay,
like
good.
They realize we need the moon for a lot of things on Earth.
Thank God.
Instead, they're going to explode certain parts of the moon's surface that will basically erase the classic man in the moon that people see when they look at the moon and replace it with a pattern of the M.A.D logo.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I thought they were going to say at least Dr. Claw, but then I remembered we don't see Dr. Claw's face, so they can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's
so it's a birthday present.
It is a good birthday present. I'm glad that they aren't just going to blow it up because that was my first thought, and I was like, you're going to kill everybody.
Yeah, I know.
This is not a good birthday gift.
Yeah, we'll go into chaos, but no, they're just going to resurface it. Basically, they're like landscaping essentially.
Cool. Nice. Yeah.
Nolan Boyd are space landscapers here. And Claw is honored by this B-Day gift. Like, they call him, they tell him, and he's like, oh my gosh, thanks. He and Mad Cat are not on the moon, which again is why I'm like, your last episode of like the surveillance state, they got eyes on the moon fucking everywhere in this episode, but they're down on Earth. Yeah.
Of course.
Who knows? But down on Earth, he's honored by this. Mad Cat loves to party. He has like a little party hat on, and like every time we see him, he's like dancing around like on the table and like throwing confetti and stuff. And like Mad, I think, just loves birthdays, and the company honors those, which is very nice.
Good for them.
Yeah.
You don't get paid holidays, but you do get birthday parties.
Exactly. Like pretty great ones too. You get some pretty good presents. And we see Claw's lair this episode, which is like, maybe he went right after the Swiss Alps. He just hopped over to his Transylvanian castle in an old
not far, Romania-ish area.
Yeah.
Germany. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. It literally just looks like he like killed Count Dracula and took his house.
Nice.
Essentially. So it has nothing to do with the episode, but I just needed to let you know that that's where he's hanging out.
Cool.
So now that we're on Earth, we'll go somewhere else over to Metro City, where Gadget, Brain, and Penny are off to visit a planetarium. But today it's not just these three. Instead, they are joined this entire episode by another kid who I have never seen before, and who is just here with like no explanation. Although I guess I'll explain him in a second. Like, there's this random backstory, but like
with no explanation until I explain it.
But in the episode, there was no explanation. I had to go to his wiki fandom page and be like, "Who the fuck is this kid?" Because
who's this kid?
I can't hide it from you at all. This episode, Alexis, I hate this kid.
Oh God, he's a regular Scrappy-Doo.
Oh man, perhaps worse. He is so fucking annoying. Okay, so he looks a little older than Penny is.
Okay.
And he's basically like an Inspector Gadget fanboy. So like, did you ever see The Incredibles 2?
Yes, I know
Yes.
exactly who you're
Yes.
talking about.
Yes. That
Okay.
kid who becomes a villain as a child
Yes.
is this kid.
His
Yeah, as a
vibe.
child.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Gotcha.
he's this like he like wants to both be Inspector Gadget and be an actual superhero. He's wearing this superhero costume, like this full latex suit with like blue boots on, a red like cap with like or like a red like little helmet that has like a little like was it like Achilles like wings on it?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or whoever I don't
Mercury,
know.
I think.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
not
yeah.
Mer
Yeah.
Hermes. Hermes was, I
Hermes,
think,
yes,
the
thank
yeah,
you.
Hermes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hermes wings on it,
Yeah.
because he's obsessed with thinking that he can be a superhero that can fly. He's got like super thick glasses, has buck teeth and freckles, and talks with a like kind of talks like this the entire time. Like he's
Oh
a nerd.
no.
But you
He's
know
one of
what?
those.
I'm not even by myself on this. Brain fucking hates this kid
Oh,
too.
good for you, Brain. Brain is a man. That's a dog of taste. He
Exactly. Brain is
knows.
like growling at him this entire episode, and it's just
Oh.
not about it. Penny seems kind of annoyed with him too, because she's just like, this is just another idiot who I have to keep safe. Um,
Hmm.
Gadget can just kind of like take it or leave it. But he goes by,
Gadget doesn't know what's going on.
yeah, we'll get to it pretty soon. Or like in a couple paragraphs about Gadget's opinion of him, which is kind of funny actually. But he goes by Corporal Cape Man, because he wears a cape.
Uh,
See. Apparently, he met Gadget when he just like wound up getting mixed up in one of Gadget's investigations of like was
wound up getting.
exactly. But I
Sure.
do think he did accidentally wind up in them because
Mhm.
Alexis, if you can believe it, he's more dumb than Inspector Gadget is.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Which I guess he's a child, so he has that excuse,
Yeah,
which
that's
Inspector Gadget
true.
doesn't.
But
So,
Penny is also a child, so
and Brain is a
she
dog,
got
half human brain.
exactly. They're both totally raising the bar though. Like they're
Yeah.
what is it? Bending the curve or breaking the
Yes.
curve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on the
They're
bell
fucking
curve
it up for
here.
dogs and kids everywhere. Yeah.
Exactly. So, yes. Okay, so they're at the museum and they are going to see a
Hmm.
planetarium show. And Cape Man, who's, I'll just refer to him as that,
Cool.
keeps like getting into like everyone's faces. There's like a line to get into the show and like thinking that everyone's suspicious of some crime, even though nothing bad has happened at this point. And like, yeah,
Hmm.
Penny's just like rolling her eyes. Brain again is growling at him. Gadget eventually is like, okay, there, kid. And
Yeah.
like, just, keeps going on with his day. But every time, and like, Gadget probably doesn't like tell him to bug off because every time Cape Man talks to Gadget, he's like, oh, your Gadget greatness. Oh, wondrous one. Like, obsessed. Yeah,
Yeah. You're
the
never
worst.
mind. Okay. All
We
right.
hate it.
Okay.
So,
The
the
worst.
worst, if you will. And we will. We
And
shall.
we will. We
And we
are.
did.
We did.
And at the planetarium, they of course run into Chief Quimby, who was like hiding in like a planet display. And they get this mission, which is they've learned of M.A.D's plan to explode the man in the moon, that whole thing replacing with the M.A.D logo. So Gadget has to go fly to the moon and stop this from happening.
Mm, okay.
So, a couple things. One, Penny is like, I want to go. And Gadget says, it's too dangerous. But then Penny says, which is like absolutely a lie, but I told my teacher I'd do a report about the moon. And Gadget goes, okay, come along.
What? Okay. Get in your fucking computer book and write your report on the moon then. What
Yeah,
are you
go to the
doing?
library then, kid.
But also, what a fucking flex. Can you imagine if
Yeah,
like you had it and you're like, oh, excuse me, I deserve an A on this report, Mrs. Whatever, because I fucking went to the moon. Like you
I
take
deserve
pictures
an
of
A
you
the
on the moon.
rest of the year. In fact, I just
Dude,
graduated.
every other kid in that class is like, again, she just freaking broke the curve. They're like,
Yeah,
what?
they're like,
So
oh
they're
my
freaking throwing
God.
their paper mache volcanoes in the trash. Like, yeah.
Right, what's the
Their little
point?
dioramas. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
man, this thing sucks. I can
God, they're
never go to the moon.
styrofoam Jupiters. They're
Yeah.
like kicking down the hall.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is this just a ploy to get Gadget to Claw's birthday party?
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe. Okay.
Neither confirm or
Huh.
deny.
Yeah.
And
But we can
third,
wildly
oh,
speculate.
we can, we will, and we did.
We did.
So, third, let's briefly talk about the phenomenon of the man in the moon.
Yeah.
So, for all of those who are able, got good vision and can see, the moon is just not a flat, one-colored surface. This lunar body is made up of dark spots, which are actually hardened lava plains, and it only appears
Hmm.
darker because the volcanic rock obviously is less reflective than like the other type of rock and materials on the moon. And so the other parts of the moon are kind of called the highlands, and those are like the lighter, brighter, more like silvery parts that we see. So, when we look at the moon, why do we see a face? For example, thus the man in the moon. And it's a phenomenon called, and I should have looked up how to actually say it. I obviously am horrible at pronouncing things.
Do your best.
Oh, I won't. There's one thing I can guarantee it will never be my best.
Oh,
Just
God.
kidding. I'll always do my best for you, Alexis.
Thank you.
It's pareidolia, I
That's probably
think.
it. That's
Pareidolia.
it. You did your
Delia.
best.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
tendency to see familiar shapes and faces in inanimate objects. So basically, it's like the habit of
Oh,
humans to impose a
yeah.
meaningful interpretation on like a nebulous stimulus when there's no actual like interpretation to be had.
Hmm.
So it's like when we
Okay.
also look at the clouds and see like a duck in the clouds,
Yeah.
or when people see Jesus's face on a slice of toast or in their dirty towel.
Mm.
So
We're in the Shroud of Turin. Okay, go off, Nobel
yeah,
Peace Prize
shout out
in
turret.
freaking
Exactly.
psychology. You.
Yep. And so with the man in the moon, this is called a lunar pareidolia. However you say it. It's obviously
Sure.
about the moon. And it
Yes.
turns out the man in the moon also falls into one of my favorite categories of all time. I will always bring it up when I am able to and shoehorn it in, which is
Okay.
a global phenomenon that existed across different cultures around the world
Ah,
before
cool.
they were in contact with one another in any way, shape,
Nice.
or form. So
Nice. I was
it's
waiting for
not,
you to say some sort of museum heist or something.
we're
I was
gonna steal
like,
the moon.
how did someone steal that or try to?
They
Yeah.
stole, yeah, the Shroud of Turin
Yeah.
in a heist.
I was really waiting. I was like, oh, she's going to talk about museums
Here
somehow.
it
No.
comes. This is
Yes.
my
That
other
is
favorite
the other
topic,
thing. Yes.
which you
Yes.
can often learn
Indeed.
about in museums, probably.
Most
So,
likely.
so yes, it's not always a face in the moon, a man's face in the moon, like we often, at least in like or I guess present day America and Europe, often says it's a man in the moon. So
Hmm.
I'm going to take you through some Wikipedia found examples of other shapes in the moon and myths behind them, which I also got some from the Royal Museums of Greenwich website from the
Mm.
UK, or Royal Museums
Yeah.
Greenwich website.
Yeah.
So I'll start with, again, some European traditions. So some European traditions say that it's not just a man's face in the moon that we see, like the eyes and mouth, but rather a figure of a man who's been banished to the moon for some crime. Sometimes it's for like gathering sticks on the Sabbath, and it's because it looks like he's like carrying a stick, and like you can't work on the Sabbath in like, traditional like Christian and Jewish religions.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
so I'll also be posting pictures, drop for our, or another plug for our YouTube. I'll put them up on
Oh,
here of like
yes.
the drawings that people have done of like how they see these
Okay, cool.
things.
Because I'm
Yeah.
trying to see it and it's
Yeah, no, I couldn't see any of it, including like the man's face on the moon. I was like, let me have someone draw this out for
yeah.
me.
And you said
So,
these are like old,
yeah,
old world kind of interpretations
yeah,
of it, right? So basically,
exactly.
when before TV and the internet, when all you could do at night was stare up and look at the moon and
And be
think
like,
up these
that's what
things
it looks like.
forever. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly,
Gotcha.
forever.
Yeah.
Um, and in another kind of same like Christian vein, Dante mentions the man in the moon multiple times in his work, both in Inferno and in Paradise, claiming
Mhm.
that actually the man up on the moon is Cain, a la the Cain from
Oh, Cain and
Genesis.
Abel.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like because he killed his brother Abel,
Yeah.
firstborn, the son of Adam and Eve, blah blah blah, punished by God, and I guess in Dante's Inferno was like, got booted up there.
That man must have been a writer. I like that. That's a good one.
This is a much better interpretation of the consequences of Cain than how other people have done it through history. Anyways,
exactly. Yes.
In Chinese mythology, there's a goddess named Chang'e who is stranded on the moon because she drank a double dose of the elixir of life and like chose basically like the moon as kind of her like immortal resting place, I think. And in some versions of this, she is accompanied by U2, who is a moon rabbit. And it's this moon rabbit shape that they see on the moon. And specifically, he kind of looks like this rabbit has a mortal and pestle, and that he is mixing this elixir of life, which is the same elixir that Chang'e drank. And so we see U2's shape on the moon.
What? U2?
Yeah, it's YU space TU. It's probably said differently and a lot more beautifully than I say it.
Maybe, but if not, this is a deep cut, but that I think inspired a Pokemon character. And I'm just going to keep it moving from there. Oh, never mind.
Probably, I didn't look into that, but it probably did because in Japan and Korea, they also see the shape of a rabbit.
That's,
on the moon, and thus, Pokemon Japan.
Interesting.
But the rabbit here, and like a lot of these like stories are still like relevant in cultures. So like in Japan and Korea, and like this is how I knew this one beforehand because of this, especially in like the Japan like vein of things, is that the rabbit, instead of like mortar and pestle for the elixir of life, is instead making medicine or rice cakes or things like mochi, which is how I knew about the rabbit on the moon. Is like there are like moon rabbits who make mochi up on the moon.
Interesting.
Yep. And then here where I live in the Pacific Northwest, the Salish people see a toad on the moon. And the story here is that a wolf fell in love with this toad, but the toad didn't trust the wolf. So in an attempt to escape its advances, the toad in one giant leap leapt onto the moon and has stayed there.
Also, that's sad. The wolf loved you, man.
With you, but also I'm sure it was like the wolf was going to actually try and eat it. It was just a trick or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha. Who's to say? I wasn't there. In any of these cases.
Any of them.
Surprise, I'm not Dante writing the Inferno. It's not my Inferno.
Yeah. Or your paradise.
Or my paradise. And so, anyways.
Interesting.
So, and again, I'll post some of these pictures of like what these actual shapes look like. And it's all on the Wikipedia page you can scroll through. And that, what is it? Royal Museum Greenwich website also has like a lot of the good drawings of it.
Cool.
So, back in our episode, Gadget, Penny, and Brain hit the road to the space station, I guess. Notice how I said Gadget, Penny, and Brain are in the car?
Oh, that's there. Right. I already blanked the other kid out of my memory.
It would be good if you did this whole time. And Kate Man, he wasn't explicitly invited and wasn't explicitly told that he wasn't invited. So he's just jogging alongside the car. And like, not like, wait for me, like Gadget's talking to him out the window as he drives.
Oh, he's like, no, this is how we travel. This is how we move as a group.
Every single time as a group. And every single time, except for when they're like on the actual spaceship, anytime that I'm like, oh, Gadget and Kate Man go this way, Kate Man is running alongside Gadget in a vehicle. Every time.
Nice.
So,
okay.
Yes.
He's got to keep him in shape. This is his training. You want to be a superhero, man? You got to be able to keep up with a running car, or you got to run with a car.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes. Also, though, they at some point, like, I presume have to get on a highway, and they get there before Kate Man does. He's got to run the whole fucking way.
He's just like out of
space
breath,
station,
sweating, dirty.
This kid definitely has asthma.
Yes.
Like, he's a little inhaler.
Exercise-induced asthma.
Yeah. How's the best of us?
Yes.
So, yes, they do get to the space station, and it's kind of what you would expect from a rocket launch site. You know, there's a bunch of warehouses, a lot of machinery. Yeah. The space shuttle itself, like, basically looks like a jumbo jet. We kind of get the hint that, like, and eventually when we do get to the moon, we see, like, there's a bunch of structures on the moon. So I think it's implying that, like, I don't know, we've already started to, like, mine the moon or some shit, or, like, send commercial flights there.
Mm.
So it's kind of combining like normal air travel and the moon. So
there is TSA then. They should have scanned for
yeah, you didn't
the
believe
Raggedy
me. I
Ann
was gonna
doll
wait till we got to
bombs.
it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't wrong, probably.
Mm.
I think. Even though, yeah, Inspector Gadget definitely is like going off 1,000 alarms as he goes through.
Yes.
So, anyways, they're there. Right now, it's just the car gang. Kate Man hasn't arrived yet. But we see kind of lurking around some of the construction site is a very tall, thin man. He's got like very pointy jaw. He's like a head to toe, including like a hood. Like you can see his face though. Skin tight, like black outfit. I was like, this latex?
NSFW.
Right, the writers messed up the naming of these
They
episodes.
did mean to name this. They're like, oh shit, the moon episode was supposed to be the next one.
Yeah, oops.
Wait,
Yeah,
and you said it's like over his head too, so it's like just his face
we
is
can
showing,
literally
and
just see his face.
he's in just like the black skin suit or whatever.
Yes, I think like his hood is gray, but yes, and on the black cat suit, if you will, gibbs
Cat
suit, if
suit,
you
yeah.
will.
Cool, good,
He does
appropriate.
have excellent, good for kids. He does have right on his chest a giant M.A.D logo. So,
And he's talking to Gadget.
he's not talking to Gadget at this point. He just sees
okay.
Gadget arrive.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and he does get a call from Claw, who of course is also seeing this and says, Gadget can't get to the moon. Parentheses, my birthday party's here at my castle,
Here.
not on the moon.
Yes.
Don't let him get there, otherwise he'll have to come back and it'll be so complicated and confusing.
Mhm. He'll be late. Yeah.
He'll be so late. So the first attempt here is that this M.A.D agent makes is to ram the car with a forklift to basically, I guess, stab all of them or have them not fully get to the rocket. Who knows?
Something. Yeah.
Yep. Gadget accidentally thwarts this plot and, using his he's like able to raise the car super high up at the last second. And so that's just thwarted. And at this point, Kate Man arrives. I just would have left him there on Earth and gotten on that rocket.
I know, like go, quick.
Yeah, go, Gadget, go. Go, Gadget, go.
Go, Gadget, go.
And yes, he does get there. He's like, Gadget, wow, you're so fast. You got here so quickly. Like, yes, bro, he was in a car. He was in a goddamn car. Obviously, he got there quickly. So they get into this rocket, which again, it just looks like a mega jumbo jet situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like normal airplane seats happening. Claw also has his eyes in here, sees that they're all getting strapped on in. And he's like, he calls the agent again and he's like, make sure they don't get to the moon. Like, you got to stop this like rocket from launching or like somehow just make sure he doesn't get to the moon here.
Yeah, one way or another.
And I think sometimes within the M.A.D organization, their communication skills aren't great. Because, I took it as make sure he doesn't get to the moon again so he can get to my birthday party. The M.A.D agent, of course, takes it as make sure Gadget doesn't get anywhere ever again, kill him while he's on this rocket.
You gotta be specific.
Big old mix-up.
Yep.
So, yes, they get into the rocket, they, all strap in, and we do see that the M.A.D agent in his little cat suit is able to sneak onto this plane or / rocket as well.
Plane. So, straight up calling it a plane now. Yeah, it's basically what it is.
I will say that was on accident. I do have rocket written down. I accidentally.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Little slip there,
like it
but
might as well
accurate.
be.
Yeah.
Also, could you imagine like the flight attendants come out like, okay, has anyone been to space before? Anyone? All right, we're gonna need to follow this safety presentation.
Hi, ma'am. Are you over 13 years old to sit in this emergency space exit seat? In case of an emergency, can you lift this latch and put on a spacesuit and attach yourself so you don't float off into the void forever?
I was gonna say, and handle zero gravity and or the black hole that we're flying through that makes the door detach in the first place. You can consent to this?
You
Yes.
can your parent consent to this? Thank you.
Good. All right. Strap in, everybody.
And I will say, yes, so they're able to, lift off. They get through the Earth's atmosphere. They're off in space. And Gadget is like, it's so good to be in space again. So I guess this is not his first rodeo.
First time. Okay.
Here. Yeah. Cool.
So he would definitely sit in the exit seat. Then he's like, I've been here before. I can do this.
No, the flight attendants are like, not you, sir. Not you.
We remember what happened last time you
just randomly opened this door. We lost an entire plane of people except for you because you're a bionic man. All right. Yeah. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
So we're going to have to reseat you.
Yes.
They actually put Gadget in the jumper seat in the back where drunk people have to go sit.
Yeah. Like strapped in. Yeah. With marshals surrounding him.
Just until he gets there. They can't fuck up this flight. So anyways, they settle into this trip, which, by the way, if, by our technology, should take them 3 days. But I think it's probably, that's how long it takes us to get to the moon is 3 days from Earth. Mm-hmm. But it does seem like they probably have better technology. So maybe it just takes way less time. But basically, I'm like, can you imagine being tracked for 3 days with Cape Man on an enclosed rocket? I would also open the exit door for all of us.
Yes, I was going to say, that's probably why Gadget used the emergency exit door last time.
Yeah.
I would be out.
It was actually
the void
Brain.
Is better than this. Oh, it was.
Brain was like, get him out of here.
Yeah.
So, yes, now in the plane, it is, they've got 0G going on. So everyone kind of gets to fly around and float over. And we see the MAD agent go over to Gadget's seat and say oh, the crew and pilot need your help with something. And you pointed this out earlier when you said oh, is the MAD agent talking to him? He hasn't changed. That MAD logo, front and center.
And right he's, okay. All right. Yeah. And still in the GIMP suit.
Never not in the GIMP suit.
No, that's his main outfit. The MAD logo came later. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's when he wore to work that day.
Yeah.
Wow. So not even trying to hide it. Okay.
Not even trying to hide it. Which also, I guess, where are they going to go? They're now stuck with him in here for the next, presumably, 3 days.
That is true. That's true.
Yes.
But now they know he's a target, though. I mean, they could now.
Right. Just take care
whatever.
of him.
Hey, not my secret agent organization. No,
exactly.
Let him do what he wants.
Yeah, and of course, Gadget just simply doesn't see this MAD logo right in his face, and he says, "Sure, of course he'll help." So the agent leads Gadget to the back of the plane. Of course, Caveman follows him. Penny suggests that Brain goes too, which I assume she saw the MAD logo, or she just wanted some goddamn peace and quiet because she's just been Cape Man is just nonstop talking. So I'm sure she's just I just want a little meditation moment for myself. Brain, can you just also leave? I need some quiet time. I need some Penny time here.
She needed to drink her Bloody Mary.
Yes, exactly. Also,
flight attendant just brought her. What?
Yes. Also, sorry, everyone. I'm not going to cut this part out. A beautiful buck just crossed my yard, a little 3-pointer. And it was very beautiful. He is very big.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was our
don't cut that moment. Out. I saw you perk up, and it looked like you were looking out your window. I'm not going to lie. I was hoping it was going to be a turkey, flying in your backyard. Okay.
I'm sorry to totally divert us again. In the winter time, turkeys kind of hang out in bigger groups. And the last time I counted, our turkey gang was 16.
Holy shit.
Yeah, rolling deep. Yeah, because they kind of gather in greater numbers, I think, in the winter time. So anyways, yeah.
Are you guys building up your defensive mechanisms around your house to protect yourselves?
Yes.
You can't take 16 turkeys.
That's why we know from our cage fight. I'm dead. Yeah. I'm absolutely dead.
Even with your badass dogs, and badass in the cool way, not as in God, your dogs are ridiculous. No, your dogs could tear some shit up, and even then, I'm not sure they can take 16 turkeys.
I know.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's too much. So okay. Anyways, I'm so sorry, everyone. I just really need to everyone to enjoy that wildlife moment with me. So yes, Gadget goes back. Yes, with the MAD agent and Cape Man, and Penny, and Brain goes back as well. Brain takes a quick second to get into his fit for the episode, or at least as part of the episode, which he goes full drag as a female flight attendant. He's got a skirt. He's got fake lashes on. He is serving more than just preheated
Towels.
shitty airplane food.
Nice.
Okay.
You slay. I just imagine like the walk down the aisle.
Yeah,
You
with the
go
cart.
turning off the help buttons and
He's going full
everything.
Britney
Yeah.
Spears.
Yes.
Da,
Why did
da, da,
Toxic
da,
immediately come
da,
to
da.
mind?
Uh-huh.
Serving those drinks and those looks. You
And those
go.
looks, baby.
Nice.
So, to no one's surprise, Gadget and Cape Man are not very graceful in zero gravity. So the
Mhm.
agent bumps Gadget like into a room that he's like, oh, the problem's in here, and kind of like nudges him in there. And as soon as Gadget's in there, the door seals behind him.
Oh, yeah.
But of
Okay.
course, Cape Man is there, so he's like, what's happening? Like, what's going on with Gadget? And that agent is like, oh, like this room is really small. It can only kind of fit one person, especially for safety, since there's kind of something going wrong in there. But like you can still talk to him while you're in there. Like he's in there. There's like an intercom system. Just press that giant red blinking button that's next to the door, and it'll totally be fine. And Cape Man is like, oh, phew, I thought that was an emergency exit button, but I guess not.
Always trust your gut, even if you're as stupid as Cape Man.
I know. Always ask
I've
one
never
more
even been on
question.
a spacecraft before, and I
I
know
know.
already what that button
Yeah,
does.
don't hit the red blinking button.
No.
So Brain is trying to like, swim basically up to them to get Cape Man not to hit the button, but he's not
Hmm.
fast enough. Cape Man, of course, hits the button and Gadget, in the room Gadget's in, a door opens and Gadget obviously immediately gets sucked out into the void
Hmm.
of space.
Yikes. Which would be fucking
But
terrifying.
he's a bionic man.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
doesn't need air. He doesn't need
That's true.
pressured forces. He doesn't need temperature control. Any of
That's
that
true.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally from like the nape of his neck, a space helmet comes on, like from
Yeah.
his back, a little jetpack comes, and he's able to just be like, whoa, that was a doozy, and just like shoot, 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 shoot his jetpack his way
Get right
back
back into
in.
the, yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Brain and Penny do help him out by like, going in there and opening the door. There is some chaos that happens. Brain does get stuck out in space, but he does have a very cute spacesuit on.
Oh, good.
And
Whew.
yes.
As I say,
And
brain will
so,
not survive out there. You
but
said
he's
that
just a
so
dog.
calmly. Okay, got you.
Yes, no, he's got a little spacesuit on because Penny was like, you might accidentally get sucked out into space because,
Cute.
we're trying to save Gadget. So just in
Yeah.
case. So and part of that, yeah, Brain getting sucked out into space is that like to land, he has to be like holding onto the wing or like the fin of this rocket because they weren't able to
Yeah.
get him back in. But he's able to land totally fine. And the
Okay.
first thing that happens when they land, because Brain blames rightfully Cape Man for losing like getting Gadget launched into space and then him launching into space.
Yeah.
Brain goes over and beats the shit out of Cape Man. It's like the like, giant dust cloud with like stars everywhere. And like
Yeah.
Penny has to like stick her hands into the cloud and like, like rip Brain out. And like they tumble back and she's like holding him Brain back from going out.
Brain's got that dog in him, man. I tell you.
Got that dog.
Wow. Brain is
Good
pissed. He's like, I'm
boy.
done with this shit, man. This is the
Yeah,
third
Brain's
time
like,
I've almost died today.
yeah, Brain's like, we've been on this flight for 3 days. I'm over it.
Yeah.
So luckily, Gadget distracts them. He's like, look, I got an investigation to do. Me and Cape Man will go start looking into stuff. And he's like, Penny, here's like your own little, like, it's basically this like dune buggy rover thing. They're all in spacesuits,
Mm.
obviously, by the way, because they're fully out on the moon's surface now. And so he's like, I don't know, go have fun with Brain and like, I don't know, go drive this like lunar rover vehicle around.
Yeah.
So while they split up, we've got our Mad Agent twins, Nolan and Void. They're
That's right.
still,
Okay.
yep, they're still working hard up there on the moon.
Hmm.
They're like digging holes to place, like to bury these like doll bombs in. And how they're doing it is basically like they have these gravity guns. And so essentially they like are able to shoot in a spot and or I guess kind of shoot anything and control that thing's gravity. So like if they were
Okay.
digging a hole, they could like shoot the dirt, move the dirt out of the way, and
Gotcha.
then
Okay.
bury the doll like using the like gun essentially. So it's like
Okay.
you can like shoot an object and control it. They call it a gravity gun because they're in space, but basically, yeah, you're like telekinesising it via a gun.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
okay.
Yep. So they're busy out there burying dolls. They've got like a whole map of like exactly where each doll needs to be placed and has to be buried so it can like, fully erupt from the earth to get this exact pattern that they need. They got all the schematics and everything. So as they're doing this, Claw sees that Gadget and gang have arrived on the moon. So he calls Nolan Boyd and is like, y'all gotta shut this shit down. How did he get here? He's not supposed to be here right now. And who all sees this, including when they're on a call with Claw, they accidentally like mismove and like misfire one of the dolls and it explodes.
Oops.
Luckily, it's Brain. That's Brain and Penny combined.
Brain.
Penny and Brain see this happen, that like the doll hits something and it explodes. So they're like, oh, these two guys who are also just on the phone with Dr. Claw have exploding dolls. Got it. This is what the plan is.
Good to know.
So they go to try and find Gadget to tell him all of this news. So as usual, Penny and Brain killing it. As usual.
The real inspection.
Exactly. Because as usual, Gadget's investigation is, in theory, going. By name alone.
Going. Yeah.
Going. So we see him driving his own moon buggy. Of course, Cape Man, like I said, is running alongside it. And they, as they're kind of like up on like these cliffs and like kind of craters and stuff, they see a small figure at the very edge of the cliff. And then they see the figure leap off down into the chasm below. So viewers, we know and we see that this is one of the dolls, and we notice that there was a beam that kind of shoved this doll like off the edge down into the like ravine below.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's a little too far for Gadget and Cape Man to like really see what it was. But they kind of are just like, did someone just jump off a cliff? We should probably go investigate.
Yeah.
So they zip off
on the moon.
Yeah, on the moon. As if they wouldn't just float or anything.
Yeah, I know.
When they landed. So
I don't expect them to know that.
Why? Yeah, why would they know this?
No.
So Gadget and Cape Man zip off to that cliff to look over to the edge, which again, like, would they be fine, or are they expecting to see a mangled body?
Yeah.
But I guess it doesn't matter because Nolan and Void see them and they're like, oh, great. Well, we'll just also send them down the cliff. So they shoot Gadget and Cape Man with like their little gravity gun and like, yeah, just send them down into the cliff. But like they land them softly down at the bottom.
Okay.
Maybe thinking they'll just like die in this hole now, or like they'll die when the bomb goes off or something.
Either.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Either or. Both, perhaps.
They're like, hey, whichever one does it first works for us.
Yeah. Our hands are technically clean of this.
Yeah.
So down in this chasm, Gadget and Cape Man see the figure that they saw before on the ground, totally fine in one piece. Yes, like I said before, it's like this Raggedy Ann doll. I think the dolls also have like little like antennae, so it's like a little alien Raggedy Ann, but
okay,
it looks like a Raggedy Ann doll, but just with like little alien like bug antennae.
Yeah.
And Alexis, these two are not just a danger unto themselves.
Oh no.
Unto a country, their state, unto Earth. They're probably a danger to the universe because these two will simply end each other into a cataclysmic disaster because they see this Raggedy Ann doll and run up and say, "Hello, ma'am, are you okay?"
So neither of them have ever seen a human woman in their life.
Not
like, I think this is what it looks like.
Hello, human woman, is that you? Gadget literally gets out his badge and is like, "Hello, ma'am, I mean no harm. I am here to help you." And they start calling her.
They're doll size, right? They're not life size Raggedy.
No.
Okay. I didn't think it was worth asking, but I just figured.
I'm glad you did for clarification.
Yeah, just making sure.
Yeah, no, they literally think this is they start calling her a moon lady because they think she is extraterrestrial lady. They think that this is an alien.
There's two of them. Why are there two of them?
Yes,
This is
and
too this
yes,
is too
and
much.
this
Yes,
is too
and
much with these
it's
two.
too much. Yeah.
So yes, they think they now must
I'm
save.
tired already listening to this. This is
I'm
it must be
exhausted. It's
exhausting.
gotta be exhausting. The theme of this
Oh
arc.
God. Yeah.
So
Okay.
luckily, Penny and Brain saw Gadget and Cape Man go down into that chasm, and they're able to run over there and like lower like a safety rope or whatever to like get down into the chasm so they can climb up and get to safety. But of course, Gadget and Cape Man bring the doll up, which Brain and Penny did not know were down there. They gotta save the Moon Lady.
I know, yeah, and they don't know it's a bomb. And I get like no one would know it's a bomb, I guess, but
Yes, they
just
didn't
like,
know. Come
yeah, I
on.
want to pull my hair out. Okay, all
Yes, that's how I
right.
felt this entire episode with them.
Mm-hmm.
But Penny and Brain see this and they just basically do one big nope when they see this doll bomb. And so one of them
Mm-hmm.
like distracts Gadget and Cape Man, like kind of a little tussle ensues to try and get this doll. But eventually Penny and or Brain are able to like yeet the doll back over the cliff where because it just got like rustled around, it
Yeah.
absolutely explodes in like a
Oh
giant
God.
mushroom cloud, like kind of sending them like back a little bit. Like Brain like flies into like a wall in the back and like again, lots of concussions, absolutely concussed. His like
Yeah.
eyes are doing the little swirly thing.
Oh no. Oh God.
Yeah, not great. But this one lost bomb isn't a big deal for Null and Void. They brought extras. They had a feeling the stuff could go a little haywire. They didn't know what TSA was going to find, so they brought
Mm-hmm.
backups, et cetera, et cetera.
Good. Good. Okay.
And they tell him that basically in T minus 10 minutes, all of the bombs will be set and ready and will go off for his B-Day. Claw is like, yes, let's do it. Mad Cat, he is now fully shaken that like little chunky fluffy booty of his, throwing more confetti. He's got the little like air horn things going off. Mad Cat is ready to party with this new
He's right.
MAD
Yeah.
logo on the moon.
He likes to party.
Except he likes to party. He likes to party. So back on our moon here. Penny, after seeing this mushroom cloud explosion, is not fucking around. She goes off and like gets her blue book computer thing, and I guess starts like both using the radar to be like, all right, let's find, are there more bombs here on the moon? There's gotta be. She's able to like ID where a lot of them are. She starts running scenarios, which means like I was thinking about it, I'm like, this kid is like the first coder ever. Like, in order to run scenarios like this, like she's hooked up to a supercomputer somehow remotely and is just like coding crazy scenarios
and just like
happen.
memorizing all of the like coding instructions top of her head. Like, okay, well maybe if we try this variable
because she's
instead.
making it for the first time.
Yeah, literally.
She is making the code. She is the rule.
She is the rule.
So yeah, she's trying to figure out basically like why are these bombs being put in such weird spots? Like what's going to happen here? And she's able to put together in one of the scenarios that when all these bombs explode, yes, the MAD logo will appear on the moon. So as she was doing that, Brain was left with Gadget and Cape Man, who hit the road again, little moon road again, and are looking for more of these moon ladies to save. Because I guess they thought that the giant bomb like was separate from it and just like killed the one they were trying to save. So they're all in danger. We must save them now.
No, it's hard to interpret such stupidity, honestly. It's like, I don't freaking know, man. I don't know how they got there, but they did.
But they've arrived.
And here we go.
Launched themselves right here. So, or that like it spontaneously combusted. Who's to say? So, anyways, they pretty quickly find some more, obviously, because they're going around trying to find them, like digging them up and stuff. Every time they see one, they're like, hello, moon ladies. We mean no harm. We are friends, not foes. And Brain, rightfully, again, is just like, nope. And he leaves. He leaves them.
Good for him.
Yep.
Good for
He
him.
goes off to find Penny so he doesn't die. But as he runs off, Gadget and Cape Man are like, no, Brain, like it's too dangerous out there. So they start following him. At the same time, Penny, now discovering all of this, she also goes to try and find Brain as well to tell him all of the info. But as Brain is running, he runs right into Null and Void, where they are burying the final and biggest doll bomb. And it's like one that's like the size of Brain. So it's not just like doll size anymore. They've got like one giant one, I guess, for, I don't know, some part of the logo. And in crashing into them, the doll ends up on Brain's back, which just like makes him get out of there even more. Yeah. It's absolute chaos. Everyone is like convening on the same spot at the same time because they were all looking for Brain. And for a moment, Null and Void kind of tussle with Brain to get the doll back. And in this process, like that doll somehow like gets launched over to Gadget's car. And so Gadget and Cape Man, which this car is full of these other dolls now, by the way. Like they have been finding so many of them.
Okay. Look at all the ladies we got back here.
We're picking up ladies on the moon.
Yeah.
We're on the prowl. And so, yes, Null and Void go after like that giant doll and of course see the car full of these dolls now. But again, in that tussle that like launched that doll out of the way, one of them dropped the gravity gun from their pockets and Brain was able to snatch it before they noticed it. So here's a couple of things happening all kind of at the same time. One, we have a standoff between Gadget, Cape Man, Null, and Void with the giant doll in between them. Like they're on either side of the giant doll. Gadget and Cape Man think this is the mother doll, the mother moon lady.
Like, where do they get this stuff from? Sorry. Okay. Sure.
Yay. So Yay, they're all just gonna die. This is my energy this whole episode. Honestly, they deserve to get blown up at this point.
Great.
Yay! Birthday party. So, yes, at this point, there's like the standoff. They're like, don't get your hands off of her. Null and Void are like, what? What are you talking about?
Who?
Who's she?
Who's her? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Oh, God, it's giving me a headache.
It's so painful to watch. It's so painful to watch. And so Penny finally gets to this, again, convenes at the same spot. She pulls up to Brain, who is like, let's get in your car and go. Like, this is a ticking time bomb, literally. But Penny sees the gravity gun that Brain has, and she takes it from him. And if we thought Penny had like enough of this shit before, let's recall the time that I thought and we decided was true, that Penny in the circus episode like interrogated someone by like lifting them up by his collar. Penny's in that mode. She's in berserker mode right now.
Okay, cool, good.
Basically.
She's in I'm not taking anyone's shit from anyone anymore mode.
Exactly.
We're all about to die.
Our favorite type of Penny mode.
Yes.
So she starts all of the dolls in the car, like shooting them like one by one, like as she like she's at a fucking carnival game, just like pshoo, and shooting it up to the sky so that if it explodes in the sky, it will be less harmful than here.
Yes.
On Earth with all of them.
Okay.
And at this point, exactly. At this point, the stalemate between the other four breaks and they all start actually fist fighting again over this doll. Again, it's the giant puff of smoke or whatever. And at one point, Cape Man like stumbles out of the fray and he's carrying the like giant doll, just like, I got out of there. And he looks up to see Penny. I like to imagine one-handed, but she's probably using two because she's a child, like holding the, like pointing the gun directly at Cape Man. And all she says is, let go. And Cape Man just drops the doll immediately.
He's like, she's tried to kill me before. I think she'll do it.
I don't think Penny was going to wait because as he's dropping the doll, she shoots.
She was like, damn it, I was hoping you didn't let go.
Yeah, fuck, I shouldn't have said anything. I gave you too much time. So, yes, Penny is able to shoot the giant doll, up into space right as that 10-minute countdown commences or finishes up. And all of the bombs indeed go off in the sky, which actually ends up looking just like a beautiful array of fireworks. Which is like,
that's nice for a birthday too.
It's actually like that's still a very lovely present that Claw can probably see back on Earth still. Like him and Mad Cat are still partying down there. And that's the end. On the end of the episode. That's it.
Dr. Claw just turns off his computer and like goes downstairs to the party or whatever. Exactly. There's like a massive party already going on. It's all of
these like corrupt world dictators and shit down
like
there.
Businessmen and shit.
Exactly. Like a bunch of other spy agencies. Like all of this shit. Dracula, because he's at Dracula's castle, basically. I guess he's like, throwing the party for Claw, actually.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, yeah, Dracula has his own little, he's got his little tomb and everything that he sleeps in, so he's got space. Claw can take the main house for a few days. Exactly.
Yeah, he just pops it off and goes back down to the party. He's a little sad
that didn't work. Yeah.
Gadget won't make it because it'll take 3 days to come back from the moon. Yeah. But he still has a great night and a great party.
Exactly. The fireworks show ended up being fine.
Yes,
the M.A.D logo being permanently imprinted in the moon would have been better, but the fireworks are fine. It's okay, I guess. It's fine.
Birthdays are always a little disappointing.
Yeah, that's true. There's always
if you have high expectations, like always something's going to kind of let you down. But he still has a great party. Mad Cat, of course, gets blackout. Has a great time.
I was just going to say, you see Mad Cat like being like carried throughout the party, like crowd surfing with like champagne in his little kitty
each of his paws.
Mad Cat's doing bottle service. He's got like the sprinklers coming out of the champagne bottles, walking onto a table.
It's actually because he's so small, the like, think of like the Great Gatsby where it would be like the champagne, like all of the flutes stacked up like a fountain of champagne. He's at the top of it doing the spread.
Doing that,
on everyone.
With this cute little party hat on. Yes, man. What a good party. Nice. That we totally just didn't make up in our minds.
It made me feel better to know that there was a good party at the end. So
yeah. Somebody had to celebrate.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Well,
there's nothing to celebrate elsewhere.
So their rocket didn't get destroyed, right? Like they're able to safely get back. Okay.
Yeah. They were like far away from like the space station on the moon and stuff.
Cool.
So yeah.
Cool. Nice. Do we see Chief Quimby at any point come to space and arrest them, or they just it just ends?
I mean, who owns the law in space? Who owns the law on the moon?
That's true.
That's the argument.
I mean, if we had it our way, the United States would.
I mean, it seems like they were sending spies.
Yeah, something tells me that our president is working on a way for that to happen right now. So
yeah, null and void though make that argument of like, actually, Gadget arresting us is null and void here on the moon because no one has jurisdiction over it, and those were too many big words for Gadget to understand, so we let him go.
I was going to say, sadly, Gadget would be like, I have no way to look into this, so I guess you're right.
Wait, what's jurisdiction? I thought I could just do what I want.
Yeah, which basically is what he does. And yeah.
And gets away with it.
Incredible. Great job.
Thanks for sticking with me through this very chaos. Anytime a cartoon goes to the moon, I'm always like, all right,
know.
The fuck's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yep. Crazy shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
I think that actually is another theme of this Inspector Gadget arc is thanks for sticking with me.
And I do like how we've been like all of Gadget's actual investigation, one paragraph.
Sure.
Like, this was a little more so I could tell you how stupid they were about these moon ladies. But we're just like sham investigation. Paragraph.
One paragraph.
Penny
though.
Pages.
Dissertation.
This is actually the investigative report.
Exactly.
That she turned in to Quimby and signed Gadget's name at the bottom.
Yes. Exactly.
So
wow.
Yes,
great job.
It was very fun. Thank you. Again, a plug for our YouTube as we were talking about the moon faces and stuff. You can see the pictures or on our Instagram, Satmore Miss. You can also see the pictures I'll post in there. But between now and next week, who should our listeners and viewers tell about the show?
I think you should tell an astronaut.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, find them. There's a few.
Yeah, there's some handful out there.
Yeah.
Some are stuck in space still, I'm pretty sure. They need something to watch and listen to.
Yeah, that's right. When are they supposed to get back? Ooh,
I don't know.
Look into that. Yeah, they do need something to listen to, though. Yeah, they got Wi-Fi there, right?
They can stream shit, probably. Oh, they're surrounded by satellites. They probably have the best Wi-Fi.
That's true. They're right at the source.
They're streaming at speeds we've never even heard of out there.
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe how wrong I probably am about that. Okay, so.
Yeah, well, we're a cartoon comedy podcast. We're not supposed to know that kind of stuff. Who should they tell?
Right.
Yeah.
I think after that, you should. I think we've already done twins before, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah, I've talked about your family before. So instead.
Yeah, people are still telling my family about it after this. No, I'm joking.
They won't stop.
They won't stop.
I think after that, you should find. I'll tell you what I'm going to say, and I'll tell you what I was going to say and start laughing about. You should tell someone who runs heavy machinery and, like a forklift and tell them not to run into cars. My alternative was someone who wears a gimp suit.
I mean, column A, column B. Either
a little bit of both.
We are a big tent podcast here. Exactly. Our gimp suit wearing demos. Where are you at? Where are you at? I'm sure.
Yeah, it probably takes a lot to get that on and off. You got to listen to something while you're doing it.
Exactly.
While
you're oiling yourself up and
while you're washing off afterwards.
Exactly. While you're probably like sliding through tight spaces. Yeah, sure.
Well, let them know, and we'll see y'all next week.
Until then,
bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.